guys.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Kaitlyn.
And we are your best friends.
Flying high like the birds in the bees.
Welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to be here with you today. We are talking about what to know before starting college.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you want somebody to just be real. So that's why we're gonna deliver.
High school seniors or maybe juniors, you're pretty excited.
Yeah.
I know I was thinking heavy about college.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be the best possible video that you could click on because it's gonna give you real insight into college.
Yes. Before we get into the video, please subscribe, join our friend group. There's a lot of cool things coming up in year 2022, so subscribe. And with that being said, let's get into this video. Okay, in some videos, people will save the juiciest things for different parts, and I think in this video, we're being led to just get right into it, meaning the juiciest things right in the beginning. So the first thing you gotta know before entering college, before starting, some choices are just not worth making. You are going to be faced, especially because you're a human being and you have insecurities and you have desires and you want to fit in and you want to do what the world's doing. You're going to be faced with a lot of different choices that you can make and a lot of different decisions, specifically in the realm of doing sexual things, hooking up, all these things. College is a time where you're leaving home now, and maybe some of you don't have parents on your back. You're free now, right? And so you're gonna sometimes put yourself in these situations where you might even feel pressure to end up doing certain things, let's say having sex with somebody, or just making out with somebody, or just kissing somebody, or going out and doing something that you normally wouldn't do at home. And I just want to say, before you ever give in to that pressure, I would just love for you to remember to just quickly pray and ask God about it, because life is so much more than the next 4 years or 6 years of college. Life is so much more. And some people, they've got their head in the clouds, all to say they don't realize that life is so much more than making these decisions. And so they want to push you to just live your life. You only live once, and just throw everything away and say it doesn't matter. But I gotta say, it all really matters. And so if you find yourself in a place where you're about to hook up with somebody, you're about to do something, I would highly suggest you don't do it. Life is so much more than that moment. And if you find yourself it's already too late or whatnot, that's okay as well. God is for you. We just always want you at the end of the day to go to God before making decisions and even after making decisions and when you've messed up.
You'll find that in college, it's a time where people are leaving home for the first time. A lot of them had strict parents. Some of them didn't, but because they're no longer held back, you yourself too might go a little crazy. You end up making crazier choices if no one prepares you. So that's the point for this, because especially at certain schools, it's always going to depend on the school, but hookup culture is so normal. Casual sex, super normal. Maybe it was normal for you in high school, depending on what school you went to. It's even more normal in college. Party culture and drinking is very normal. If you don't pay attention to it, you're not going to notice, but alcohol is idolized to a very unhealthy level, to the point where it seems all fun and cool at first, but then you're like, wait, why can't these people have fun without alcohol? Why does it seem like they're kind of insecure if they don't have a substance to augment their personality? And we have videos about that on our channel, but there's a lot of things that are just so normal and accepted in college that are going to seem normal to you if no one prepares you. And at the end of the day, the only person who has to live your life is you. So just the other day, I was thinking about my time in college. I was thinking about my life. I was thinking about everything I was involved in. And I just got this funny feeling that all the people I was trying to impress, all the girls that I wanted to be friends with, all the guys that I thought were cool, everything about my college experience sort of doesn't matter anymore in a sense. And everything has a purpose, everything matters, but at the same time, it was ironic because now it's just my life. Everyone's graduated, everyone's moved all across the country, everyone's on with their own lives. The only person who has to live with what I've gone through in college and the choices that I made in college is me. So anything that I did to impress other people, to be friends with other people, to seem cool, to seem confident, whatever internal reasons that I had and that you'll have, doesn't really matter. I'm the one at the end of the day who's living with my choices. So don't let anyone tell you how to live in college, and don't be influenced by the crowd, because those people, they got their whole life ahead of them and they got their own problems ahead of them and they don't have it figured out. So with that, just to prepare you, in college, you are definitely gonna meet some crazy people. And I don't mean crazy as in mentally unstable, I mean crazy.
There definitely are some of those too.
There's that too.
But they're in every town. So.
Of course. But you're gonna meet people who believe the opposite of what you believe in every way. You're gonna meet professors that want to beat you down, professors that, you know, in high school, I feel like teachers are more reserved. I had professors trying to tell me how to think politically, how to have conversations about God and religion. That was really happening. Shouldn't seem like it shouldn't be happening, but it does. There's going to be people that just don't know what they're doing. They're just lost and confused. So be prepared for that, because just because everyone's in college doesn't mean that everyone has it figured out. There's a lot of crazy people and a lot of people who are going to pull you in 100 different directions if you let them.
So choose the crowd that you choose to hang out with wisely. And the nice thing is, in college, you really don't have to settle with a guy or a girl. You don't have to settle for that crap if you don't feel good around them and if they're not good for you and your future. When it comes to your friends, you don't have to settle if these people are kind of living, unfortunately, purposeless, without a point. You don't have to settle for that, because the crowd that you're going to surround yourself with in college is so important. I mean, so important. And the good news is, in college, there's a lot of options, a lot, especially because you don't have to just rely on the college. You could also go to a church around and meet more people there. But I want you to remember, if you ever feel like, you know, this friend group kind of is not what I want to stick with, and you find yourself thinking maybe you can't get better, you don't need to settle for that. You really can start looking for other groups. You want to surround yourself with people who kind of heading in the same direction as you, because the crowd you hang out with is so important.
It is who you will become.
Yeah. Now this is important, okay? Because in high school, we all do this too, even in college, even after college. We are big dreamers sometimes. We dream huge about the future. Oh my goodness, I can visualize myself here doing this kind of job, drinking coffee in the morning, living this big life, right? And in high school, you're thinking, when I'm in college, I don't have to be with my parents. I can finally like go to bed at this time, hang out at this time. And you're like dreaming big about what college is all about.
What your life's gonna look
Yes,
like.
it's so exciting. And stay excited. But I also want to excite you equally with this. Although a lot of external things might change, like yes, you might live somewhere differently. Externally, you don't have your parents maybe on your back all the time. Externally, you are making different friends. Maybe you didn't like your friends in high school. Lots of things are externally changing. But I want to say internally, meaning your insecurities, your doubts, what you think about yourself, the way that your brain operates, that stuff really doesn't change that much unless we start to walk with the Lord. And I was going to say unless you change something, but I want to say the truth is the walking with God is what changes everything. Reading your Bible and seeking Him, especially imperfectly. Like, don't think you got to seek Him in a perfect way. Just thinking about God and going to Him. That's what changes somebody internally. I've met many people at all different ages, even at 65 years old. Their maturity seems to be that of a college student, because nothing changes in here unless you know God. You still think the same way, you do the same habits, you defend yourself, you defend the way that you are. I am this way because I am this way. And so although dream big for the external changes, I want you to start focusing on right now, because who you are right now is who you'll be at the end of college, unless you start walking with the Lord and unless you start changing things up.
Either college is going to mold you, or you will let God mold you. There's a Bible verse that goes off what Sarah's saying: the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. God is the giver of wisdom, and God is what changes things inside of you. But a lot of the times we're just romanticizing this new life and how we're going to be so confident and so cool. If we just don't change anything internally, things around us are just going to kind of mold what's already there, and we're kind of just going to be like loose jelly being changed by the world around us.
And you'll be happy sometimes, and things will be great sometimes. And it's not always gonna feel like internally you're the same. You're gonna feel like, whoa, life's so much better. But when things crumble at times, you'll realize everything feels like it's always been on the inside.
Exactly. I think for me, a good practical example, when I was sorority rushing my freshman year, I kept thinking, oh, I'm gonna choose a sorority with these girls because they're who I want to be in the next 4 years. They look so cool, they look so confident. That's literally what I was thinking every time I would rush a sorority, which isn't the worst thing because you're thinking about who you surround yourself with. But at the same time, what I really wanted was at the end of those 4 years, I wanted to be more confident, more secure. That's really didn't change until I started walking with the Lord. It didn't happen from choosing a good sorority or being around cool people who seem like they're confident and secure. It only bless you. or being around cool people who seem really confident and secure. It only came when I started walking with the Lord. Regardless of what changed externally I was more outgoing, externally I was cool, externally I had more friends, externally everything looked good. But internally, those insecurities were still there. Those lack of confidence and self-worth, it's all still there until you start walking with God.
Yeah.
So,
hey, we're just prepping you over here, okay, friend? We're prepping you. I just don't think a lot of us hear these kinds of things anymore.
no.
And so even though it seems like we're giving you a lot of deep things, it's just because people aren't that deep anymore.
No.
Like, parents get less deep sometimes, friends get less deep. And dude, the devil's got a plan. You want to know what he wants for your life? For you to feel like you have no purpose, for you to just go with the flow and live according to the world, so that when it's all over and said and done, you changed nobody else's life. Nobody got to hear about Jesus because of you. And possibly you don't even believe in Jesus. And so you're going somewhere eternally without God, which is not good. Okay, that's the big picture. And so I know we're talking about college and stuff and high school, but life is so much more. And I think that's very exciting. Because I think like we're all used to just hearing that life is like chill and it's
do what makes
just
you
do it.
happy.
Yeah, and nobody charges you that like, no, this is a big deal.
Your life is worth so much. You have so much
Yes.
purpose woven into you.
So much
waste it.
potential, so much purpose.
We've gone into the deep, juicy stuff. I just want to share a quick, practical one that I wish someone told me. Picking your major is really not that big of a deal. Okay, it is a big deal. It's something you want to pray about. It's something you want to think about. But what I mean is, it's not the end of the world. My senior year of high school, that last semester, I was so stressed and worried about what I was going to be doing with my life. I came up with 5 different plans, 5 different majors. I was going to be pre-law. I was going to do business. I was going to be a doctor. I was going to do this. I kept changing it because nothing clicked with me about what I was passionate about. I didn't find my passion until my sophomore year of college when we started this channel. When you get to college, first of all, your first semester is just going to be general education classes, so you don't have to necessarily start taking major classes. Your first semester of college, you're not even going to be taking classes relating to your major, and if you are, you're going to take 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Most people change their major. I heard that and that made me scared. I was like, oh no, I'm scared. What if I'm one of those people? It's not that big of a deal. You typically will have classes that overlap so you don't graduate late. And at the end of the day, all a major is what you're going to be studying. So all you're doing is picking classes that you're interested in and that you want to take.
Yeah, pick for the classes, not the name of the major. Pick for the
Exactly.
classes. Nobody hires marketing major for a marketing job. They hire somebody who knows a lot about that job.
And just to give you a practical example, when I did an internship at an advertising firm, a bunch of people there were theater majors. You would never think, but it's because it relates somehow. And at the end of the day, no one's gonna care so long as you're qualified. So I was stressed about that. If you take it to God, you'll figure it out, and it's just not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and we also have a whole series on college things too that are filled with wisdom.
Yes.
Okay, last thing I'm gonna say too is about the money. You just need to know this. Maybe nobody's told you this, but I'm not kidding you. Unless your family is wealthy and it wants to pay like $40,000 a semester, or unless that's what you really want to do, because if you want to have $40,000 a year and have a little bit of debt, but that's what you're choosing to do for a specific reason, okay, cool. But other than that, don't feel pressure to spend a lot of money, let's say, to go to this college because that's what's cool, or that's what would give you like this cool label and things like that. I don't know. I just remember in high school, what college you go to, there's a lot of pressure surrounding it, and a lot of like coolness, and transferring was a weird concept in high school until you get to college and you realize everybody in college is kind of like figuring it out as well. Like people are transferring every year all the time.
Yeah.
All that I can say is that it's not worth spending that much money and having a lot of debt.
It's not worth going into debt.
It's really
It's
not. The only reason it would be, which still sucks because doctors don't deserve this, is if you're on the path to be a certain lawyer, you want to work for the government, or you want to work as a doctor and you need to like go to this certain kind of school. Other than that, dude, if you are just a marketing major and you are going to pay like $60,000 a year at a certain college, I don't know why you would do that. But if that's what you want to do it. I'm just saying, if you're one of those on the edge, trust us, it's not worth it.
Stay in state.
Stay in state. Let the money stuff be a little bit of a helpful deciding factor. I'm telling you, it is not worth it. At the end of the day, you could end up getting a degree and then working somewhere that needed 0 degree, all right?
Seriously, and there are people who are like very successful that they didn't even go to that good of a school.
Oh my gosh.
I just know I met so many people that they were paying so much money to go to the school that I went to, and they were from out of state. And at the end of the day, bless them, but they're having the same experience that they would have had at their typical state college. It's very helpful. Also, there's a documentary by Dave Ramsey about student loan debt, so I'm gonna put it in our description because we never link things in the description. It might be helpful for you to watch because student loans are not fun, and a lot of people get tied back by them way after they graduate, so that might be helpful for you as well. So with that wraps up our college video, what to know before college. Comment down below questions that you have about college. If you want a follow-up video, we have so many videos about college on this channel. Hopefully they'll all be linked in the cards so you can scroll through them. But thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes, we love you very much. Everything's gonna be wonderful. God is good. Amen.
Yep, and he led you to this video that is preparing you a lot.
Hey, that's for real, for real.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you in the next video.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe next video.
Join our friend group.
Yes.
Okay, now bye.